This is ABC 15 News Taking Action.
I came out here to be a voice for the voiceless.
Demonstrators taking to the streets in downtown Phoenix, blocking roads and interrupting light rail service, all for a nationwide protest against immigration and customs officials.
The demonstrations last night resulting in multiple arrests, and ABC 15 was there to cover it all.
Plus, tracking Barry in the Gulf Coast, the tropical storm gaining momentum and expected to make landfall as a hurricane at any minute.
But first, we want to give you a live look outside here at home. Triple digits, certainly nothing new, but now blowing dust threatening to put a little bit of a damper on your outdoor plans later this afternoon. So we're going to track all of that in just moments. But first, we say good morning and we thank you for waking up with us on ABC 15 Mornings. I'm Nohelani Graff.
Yeah, happy Saturday. I'm Mark Thompson. Yeah, lots to talk about weather-wise,
Yes.
Not only here at home with all of the heat, but we just showed you that tropical storm that may turn into a hurricane as it makes landfall near New Orleans.
Exactly. Still only about 70 miles off the coast of Louisiana right now. So they're bracing for that. We're going to keep track of that. Back here at home, we saw a few showers over portions of the state last night. So this morning, clouds and radar are showing us that system continuing to track north of the I-40 right now. Here in the valley, we are staying dry. It's warm as well, 93 degrees right now, just a very light breeze. And that's because of the clouds that we're waking up to this morning. It didn't let any of that heat really escape yesterday. And hour by hour, we're going to continue to warm up quickly today. Check this out. By 9 o'clock in the morning, we're in the mid-90s. By 11, well before lunchtime, we're hitting those triple digits. So I'm going to talk about just how high those temperatures will climb and also the outlook for that blowing dust later this afternoon coming up in just a little bit.
All right, no, hey, thank you. Now to the big story that we're following this morning. An incredible scene unfolding late last night, and we followed it all live on ABC 15 News at 10. Across the country tomorrow, massive raids are planned targeting undocumented immigrants with deportation orders. None of those raids are expected to happen here in Phoenix, but protests gathered outside of our own local ICE headquarters anyway. ABC 15's Zach Crenshaw was there.
Chance filled Central Avenue Friday night as dozens blocked traffic and a light rail track just north of downtown.
At that point, we ensured that the light rail that was going to travel on that side was stopped.
We didn't feel that we were being adequately seen and adequately heard, and so we're moving to the streets because they're forced to listen to us now.
It started with a meeting inside a nearby Methodist church, part of a larger Lights of Liberty protest nationwide.
I came out here to be a voice for the voiceless and to raise my opposition against what I feel is America being on the wrong side of history right now.
But the demonstration turned to a march outside the Phoenix ICE offices and then to the streets, where more moderate demonstrators were sidelined and dozens chanted, sat, and faced off with a growing number of Phoenix police officers. All of it culminating with the arrest of 11 people on the light rail tracks and a handful of others after.
There's a lot of ego going on, so you're getting a lot of apathy and anger and grief and frustration being taken out in different ways.
Emotions and tensions were certainly high. Fortunately, there were no injuries on either side. Some protesters will now have court dates.
Obviously obstructing the roadway and an awful assembly.
But many feel like their message was heard.
I feel like we've been seen and heard, but there's still a lot of progress that needs to be gone.
There was a message that was delivered, and hopefully people see it for what the true statement was to call people to action, to do something. Just do something.
Now, that was Zach Crenshaw reporting. About 15 people were arrested, and we've been monitoring things at the 4th Avenue jail, and it doesn't appear that anyone has been released just yet. Now, GoFundMe has been launched to help pay for their bail. Brianna Westbrook, the vice chair of the Arizona Democratic Party, sharing this information on Twitter overnight. And these protests and tomorrow's planned raids coming as a congressional investigation is now underway at a facility for young migrants in Yuma. New reports accusing Border Patrol agents of child abuse and sexual assault. Yesterday, Arizona's Democratic lawmakers asked Governor Ducey and Attorney General Mark Brnovich to take some action.
These are allegations, so we need those investigations to be robust. We need to make sure that if those things are substantiated and they really did occur, we need to know what happened, and we need to make sure that people are held accountable.
The governor's office tells us that they're working with federal officials to investigate what's happening there in Yuma. And we're going to have more information from those protests that are happening in other cities. That's coming up in our next half hour. But you can stay up to date with the very latest information on this developing story by getting the ABC 15 mobile app.
Now to the other big national story, Tropical Storm Barry. The storm is expected to make landfall shortly in Louisiana and become a Category 1 hurricane. Coastal communities are expecting the very worst because they have lived through the very worst in the past. For the first time in history, all of the city's floodgates in New Orleans are closed and residents are being urged to shelter in place.
This is a very significant severe weather event. And the National Weather Service, they're using terms like life-threatening floods.
Now, people can expect potentially deadly storm surges as well as destructive winds and the possibility of spawning tornadoes. Now this morning we do have live pictures for you coming in from the Gulf Coast. You can see the rain is on the lens there. We're watching the coast there in the water as it starts to move in. So far it hasn't happened yet, but that rain has been pounding all night long. So there could end up being anywhere from 10 to 20 inches of rain in some places by Sunday. And also, I was just reading from ABC News that the storm itself has suddenly made that turn northwest. So a matter of hours is what we're talking about for folks there.
And can you imagine the anxiety of all those people who, many of them
lived through Katrina.
Yeah, lived through Katrina, and now they're bracing for more.
And they're saying this will not be as bad as Katrina, but still, you can't help but worry about that. Back here at home, all eyes have been on the skies, looking at those clouds, wondering, is the monsoon finally going to fire up here? We will see some effects of it, but not what everybody is thinking. So right now, warm start. This is that time of year where it starts to be uncomfortable first thing in the morning, in the 90s to start off. It's going to be hot again today, 109 in the forecast. And we do have dust advisories. Blowing dust is possible later today, and so that is making for a high pollution advisory is what I should say. Those morning rain chances are thin, but we're continuing to track them, and then that extreme heat is going to return to our forecast. So I'm going to break it all down for you coming up in just a few moments.
And before you head out this weekend, here's Chelsea Davis with a look at what you can expect out on the roads.
Hey everybody, I'm Chelsea Davis with a look at the freeway closures that are happening this weekend. We're going to start on the west side of town. So I-10 is going to shut down in the eastbound direction between 67th Avenue over to 51st Avenue Friday to Sunday. The ramps nearby, on-ramps at 91st, 83rd, 79th, and 75th Avenues will close. You can use McDowell or Van Buren if you want to travel eastbound and westbound. Loop 101 and Grand Avenue can help you travel around the area as well too. Now up north, Loop 101 westbound will close between 7th Street and 7th Avenue Friday into early Monday morning. If you want to travel northbound or southbound using the streets, Cave Creek Road is an option, so is 19th Avenue. Otherwise, east and westbound travel, you have the Frontage Road, Deer Valley, Union Hills, or Bell Road to take to get by. In the east side of town, Loop 101 northbound will be closed between Loop 202 Santan up to Warner. That's Friday through early Monday morning, and the connecting ramps from the 202 Santan to northbound Loop 101 will shut down completely. So you can use the Frontage Road there, McClintock Drive, or Dobson to get by. Also, a quick closure of Loop 202 Santan eastbound at Power Road Friday into Saturday. You'll also see some of those restrictions last through July 18th. Now, we're going to put all this online for you, abc15.com/traffic. And you can also download our free mobile app if you want to use that instead to track your desert drive times, including conditions, congestion, links to traffic cameras. We even show you the best price to fill up. So have a great weekend. Be safe.
All right, Chelsea, thank you. Well, out in Scottsdale, you can beat the heat by checking out a unique exhibition that's now open for the summer. It's called Mutual Reality, Art on the Edge of Technology. It's at the Scottsdale Museum of Contemporary Art. It features 12 interactive artworks that you can manipulate through motion cameras, facial recognition, touch, or an app on your cell phone. Admission runs about $10. Well, all new this morning, a big boost to ASU's national profile, the Fisk Guide to Colleges, naming it as a top 10 best buy for public universities in the country. ASU getting the props for its low student debt average. The Fisk Guide ranks more than 300 public and private colleges every year, now helping high school students decide where they want to apply. Back to school shopping can be very expensive. That's why our Smart Shopper team is helping out, finding a big back to school giveaway this weekend. It's tomorrow at the NFL Yet College Prep Academy. The address is right there on your screen. Food City will be on hand giving away backpacks full of supplies to kids in need. Now that's going to be while supplies last. They tell us that they gave away over 1,000 backpacks last year, so you're going to want to get there pretty early. The Phoenix Fire Department, they're also going to be there giving free vaccinations for elementary and high school students. Well, the hype is also building for the Arizona State Fair, which is coming up in October.
But concert tickets are on sale now, so here's some of the lineup to remind you. Trace Adkins will be performing. A throwback, Pat Benatar is going to be taking the stage, even MC Hammer. Reserve seating starts at $40. Concerts are already included with fair admission, but these tickets will guarantee that you're going to get closer seats. So for a link to buy them, go to the entertainment section of abc15.com.
Is there anything in her mouth?
No.
Oh, come on, baby. Cry for me. Cry for me. Come on, open those eyes.
Wow, just incredible visuals here. A dramatic body camera video showing the heroic actions when a deputy saves an infant during a traffic stop.
Unbelievable. Also, a local teacher now headed to prison for molesting one of her students. What her attorney is now saying about the victim.
Updates on these stories and more
at abc15.com and the ABC 15 app.